PSC Commissioner Celia Kiram.
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. To our resource speaker today, si Professor Maria Teresa Jasmines at Sports. We know for a fact that all of you are sports practitioners and stakeholders that has a hand in developing potential sports as well as athletes in your community. Today's topic is a very interesting and important subject matter. We hope that the knowledge that you will learn today will be useful in your sports endeavor. Bear in mind that there is such a sports marketing that can assist you to operate, enable, and grow long-term revenue streams to support your sports programs and activities. Again, our warmest welcome to all. Stay tuned for 2 hours. Keep safe and peace be with you all. Thank you so much.
Help me in welcoming our moderator for this lecture, Ms. Judith Karingal. Hello ma'am, magandang hapon po sa inyo.
Okay. Hi, Josh.
Hello po, magandang
Okay,
hapon.
yeah. Magandang hapon. Good afternoon po sa lahat, especially to our top sports officials, Commissioner Celia Kiram and Executive Director Attorney Iroy. At sa lahat po, lalo na sa ating guest speaker, I am very blessed to be with you all as a moderator and at the same time a participant of this very important event. I know we are all excited for the 4th session of the first phase of the PSC National Sports Summit, which focuses on a very interesting topic, and that's the value of sports marketing. Let's see how our sports stakeholders, beginning from the grassroots level to the NSAs and of course to the elite and professional level would benefit from this. Our speaker will take us to the world of sports marketing. She will give us the definition of sports marketing, why sports marketing is a game changer, and she will also share with us some expressions of sports marketing, the 3 major players of sports marketing, the benefits of sports marketing for sponsors, the organization, the sport itself, the fans, and media. And she will cite examples of how sports marketing changed the game, the specifics on how to do sports marketing, and of course, steps to get sponsorships. This and more in today's session of our PSC National Sports Summit. Our resource speaker is an A1 expert and specialist who has amassed vast knowledge and many years of experience in sports marketing and public relations. She is one of the first women sports writers in the country who ventured into the then still exclusively male profession in the 1970s. Surely most of us have or had followed her write-ups at leading newspapers and sports magazines. She was the first TV courtside reporter of the UAAP back in 1990s. She was once also a member of my sports radio family alongside the late Miss Beth Celis. She served as Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs at the University of the Philippines, Diliman from 1995 to 2005. She is a professor of journalism at UP College of Mass Communications, where she also earned her master's degree. She runs her own PR company, Lark and Asset PR Consultants, whose projects include NBA events, One Championship, of course, the UAAP, and many others.
Ang ginawa ko pong title ng ating session today na tungkol sa the value of sports marketing is Change the Game. Kasi itong sports marketing ay pwede nating gamitin para ma-level up natin ang ating sport or ang ating team or an athlete for that matter. So, more or less, ito po yung menu natin sa araw na ito. More or less lang kasi hindi ko naman talaga sinunod siya ng todo-todo. So first of all, I'm so happy muna to and honored to be involved in this summit. So thank you to Chairman Ramirez for the invitation and Ms. Judith Karinga for the great introduction and the kind and competent staff of PSC for their guidance. I hope that I can shed enough light on the topic today. As we all know, government through the PSC is very generous and it's always there to help NSAs, sports entities, and athletes. But government funds are also finite. It wouldn't hurt if those who need funds learn how to be creative and find ways to help themselves. One of the ways is for the NSA, league, school, team, or athlete to find ways to raise funds on their own. As they say, God helps those who help themselves. And today I will let's begin with the concept of sports marketing and why it's the in thing to do these days. Kasi sports today is not only for athletes and hardcore sports fans. More than ever, the size, number, and types of fans has grown. They're called casual fans, and their volume is staggering. So, one of the strongest influences in the huge popularity of sports and in growing the fan base is sports marketing. It has changed the game completely and has made sports relevant to more demographics than ever before. So change is not necessarily a bad thing, but people fear change and want things to stay as they are, at least at the start. But change isn't all bad. It just takes getting used to. So are you going to love it or fear it? So ang advice ko, huwag niyong katakutan ng change. Kasi maraming may dudulot na bagong experiences and achievements for you, not just in sports, but in life. Kasi iba na yung pag nag-adjust, marunong ka mag-adjust, mas madali ka makakakope with the challenges that you face. So there are three major players in the sports marketing game. Sponsors or marketers, the NSA, league, school, team or athlete, and the fans. Their relationship is perfect. Talagang parang made in heaven sila, made for each other. It's a perfect relationship because they all need one another. The sponsor has something to sell and needs exposure and a high impact, meaningful connection with markets. The sport, which is the NSA, a league, a team, or an athlete, has those markets naman, also known as fans. And these fans are loyal, enthusiastic, diehard, and committed. So what's in it for them? What do they get out of sports marketing? For the sponsor, they reach their intended target audiences and connect with them in an intimate, fulfilling, and profitable way. For the sports organization, they get funds or they get earnings from tickets, TV rights, endorsement deals, merchandising. Because of the financial support, they can get better. If it's a team, they can recruit more quality recruits, they can go places, they can siguro renovate their gym, do all those things to make their performance better. And for the fans, they have greater awareness about the sport, the athlete. They interact with them more kasi pag may sponsor, you can bring the sport to them. Not just siguro in the metro areas, but they can even travel to the provinces dahil meron ng support. And pag magaling yung team mo, pag magaling yung sport mo, you get more of that winning feeling. And for the media, there are more stories to write, more events to cover. So, marami kang, it's symbiotic yung relationship talaga. Let's, from the point of view of the sponsor muna tayo. For the sponsor, marketing goals. First, you have to fine-tune your market. Hahanap ka ng good fit with your product or service. So for Alaska, perfect nga yung Junior NBA kasi it's all about kids. Perfect din ang Red Bull for extreme sports. Kasi pang-adrenaline, ang adrenaline rush yung produkto nila. The sponsor can take the initiative then and look for something to support. Hindi lang yung sport, hindi lang yung organization, hindi lang yung NSA ang laging nag-initiate nun. Pwede rin yung sponsor mismo ang maghanap ng susuportahan nila. So, tapos once nakahanap na yung sponsor ng tamang event, team, league, or NSA to support, it has to make important marketing decisions. Yan na, length and duration of the sponsorship. How long will I support? What will I support? Leg lang ba? Or series lang ba? O yung buong event? Taga-donate lang ba ako ng uniform? Pang-travel or tournament fees lang ba ako? O multi-year supporter ako? Like Nike or Adidas. Yan, sa UAAP, sabi ko sa inyo, Nike has supported Ateneo, LaSalle, and FEU for close to a decade already, if not more. And very important dito sa considerations ng marketer or sponsor is what will he get out of the partnership. Yan na yung exposure and media values. Diyan nakasalalay ang tagumpay ng pagkakaroon ninyo o natin ng sponsor. How much value and exposure will the company or brand get from the help he will give you? Marketing kasi ito eh. So quid pro quo. You will be extremely lucky if you get a patron who just gives without asking anything in return. But marketers always want to get their money's worth. So from the point of view naman of the sports org, from the point of view of the NSA, team, league, or athlete, the first requirement is to look for people or entities that seem most likely to help. Yung malalapitan, eka nga. So you start with so-called low-lying fruits. Saan ka may relationship. Usually pag school ka, you go to your alumni. Or kamag-anak mong mayaman, kamag-anak ng coach na mayaman, or someone you know who is the CEO of a company, etc., etc. But you should treat it like a business. Hindi bagay yung mukhang namamalimos lang tayo lagi or nagpapaawa. Pwede rin yun, but you must show that you have something to offer them that will help them. Highlight your fan base. Highlight your athletes. Highlight and spell out the kind of exposure they will get if they support you. In short, dig deep into your vault and line up your assets. All of those you will put together in a proposal or sponsor's packet kung tawagin. That is what you will present to your target. Every NSA team or an organization should exert effort to do sports marketing. Having sponsorship funding allows athletes to focus more on the training and production of their sports and reduces stress about lack of funds for training and putting on events. At the same time, the NSA benefits from a direct financial input as well as from the endorsement provided through the sponsoring brand. In return, the brand receives huge prime exposure and exclusive revenue. Why? Ang sports marketing program nyo, una muna, yan, research. Yung sinabi ko kanina, research to evaluate the right fit between product and sport. Kasi pag hindi nyo masyadong kinilala yung kakapartnerin nyo, baka magsisihan later. Diba? So kailangan, pati both sides should do research and make sure that they are both happy to work with each other and that they are both happy with the terms that are specified. So for the sport, NSA, the team, the league, study the market para din makakakita pa kayo ng possibilities, makakakita pa kayo ng mga pwedeng bagong anggulo na pwede nyo gawing lagyan ng creative spin para magbigay pa ng additional yung sponsor. And then, always have a good communication strategy in place. Hindi lang, when we say communication, we're not just talking about mass media. We're talking about coordination between the NSA or the team or the league or the athlete and the sponsor. Kailangan open yung communication and healthy siya. Yung hindi nagtataguan ng sama ng loob, ganyan. Kasi pag nagtaguan ng sama ng loob, ang balik nun, drop, wala na, tapos na lahat. So kailangan meron kayong good communication strategy, interpersonal, as well as mass media. Dapat, kasi yun ang hinahanap ng sponsor eh. Yung lagi siyang nasa media, laging naka-expose. Lagi, pag gumagawa kami ng marketing evaluation after each, let's say, junior NBA or one championship program, yung sa mga media reports na ginagawa namin, bibilangin namin ilang beses na mention yung sponsor. Kasi importante sa kanila yun na ibigay mo. During this time that you supported us, your name or your logo appeared X number of times on television, X number of times in print, X number of times online, and in the social media accounts of these top influencers. Those resonate very well with the sponsor. Exposure sa media, local media or social media, like isa sa mga pinapangako namin would be I'll cite a specific example. Meron kasing isang bagong sponsor yung UP Fighting Maroons. Dog food. Ang pangalan niya Top Breed. Isa siya sa mga brands ni Robina ng Robinsons. So, isipin mo, paano magiging paano susuporta ang dog food sa isang basketball team? So, doon ka mag-iisip ng So, isa sa mga ginawa, itong si Coach Bo Perasol, yun yung head coach ng UP, meron pala siyang mga aso, pero mga Shih Tzu lang. Na yung by lang, I don't mean na hindi magandang aso yun, kundi hindi sila yung Rottweiler, German Shepherd, pero mukhang mga sweet ba na mga aso. Anyway, gumawa sila ng video na si Coach Bo, kunyari, naka-huddle siya, meron siyang binibigay na directions, tapos, alright, fight. Pero yung nag-fight, yung mga aso niya, yung tumakbo yung mga aso niya. Tapos siya, gumawa ng video nun, in-upload sa social media. So, merong branding dahil lumabas doon yung Isa pa na ginawa nila for that particular sponsor, nagkaroon ng parang hindi dog show kundi parang meron kasi sa UP Diliman na comfort dogs na during the pandemic, yung parang may mga dogs sila na ginather na nagbibigay ng yung para sa mga may sakit o yung mga depressed, therapy dogs ang tawag doon. So, ginather sila, tapos tinreat sila nung Top Breed na parang binigyan sila ng libreng bakuna, tapos may mga feeding programs, binigyan sila ng mga donations, yung mga owners, may mga centers doon na nag-care sa dogs. No specific guidelines naman. Basta ang key move na gagawin ninyo is first talaga to identify. So, kumbaga mag-wish list na ang mga LGU, ang mga NSA, ang mga leagues or teams, mag-wish list na, or hit, better yatang tawagin imbis na wish list ay hit list. Mag-hit list na kayo ng kung sinong pwede nyong lapitan. And then from there, aralin nga ninyong mabuti kung anong klase silang brand or partner or ano yung nature ng business nila or service nila. And then, imagine niyo how you can contribute to them in the conduct of their business or in the uh, giving of their services. Because from there, you can now make a proposal. So talagang you'll have to sit down and brainstorm about how to reach these people and how to excite them about your team, about your sports group or athlete. Hahanapan mo talaga eh. Pupunutan mo ng mga classes, mostly classes.
Yes. We realize the value and importance of sports marketing, especially in our setup, where, of course, the NSAs and other groups need to tap private sector and likewise need to market their sports to find ways to fund their activities and their projects. Since, of course, we know for a fact our government cannot support all of them or all of us. Professor Tessa stressed that sports is big. This is not only about the athletes and the fans, but this is about everybody. Sports massive popularity is because of sports marketing. And sports marketing is the promotion of sports events, of the teams, and of course, yung pong promotion din ng mga products and services through sports events and the teams or the organization. And then, sabi ni Ma'am Tessa, sports marketing is a game changer, a kind of change that is definitely good, di ba? Dahil nga sports marketing made sports a more popular and very powerful vehicle to reach and influence people. And this refutes some perception that marketing taints the purity or originality of sports. Di ba? Yun ang sinabi ni Ma'am. So, sports is power pala, ha? Anyway, there are expressions of sports marketing, the personalities, the team branding, the on-site branding, the event ownership and activations. Tapos yun na nga, mahalaga ha, yung three major players of sports marketing. The sports, the organization, which include the league, the school, the team, and the athlete, and of course, the fans. Tapos may perfect relationship itong mga players na ito ng sports marketing. And that's the symbiotic relationship of all players, the sponsor who spend money to gain exposure and reach target audience, and then the organization which looking for funding, the fans who crave to enjoy more and the games, and of course their idols, and of course yung media din who would want to cover more events, di ba? And write more events. And then yung importance pa ng sports marketing nakakaiba sa ibang klase ng marketing because iba yung dating nito eh. There is that feeling of family, the family feeling in sports marketing dahil nga po yung connection ng sports ng atletas sa mga fans nito eh para talagang matindi ano. May family feeling na sila doon at doon talaga papasok na yung kanilang pagtangkilik sa isang brand o doon nga sa sponsor. So, in all, win-win situation for every organization. Of course, every organization, just like what we said earlier, we need and we should have sports marketing. We should do sports marketing to have funding so that the athletes or the NSA administrator would have less pressure or less stress dahil meron na siyang pondo, hindi na sasakit ang ulo niya para pa maghanap, di ba? Eh, talagang magkaroon tayo ng sports marketing. Tapos yun namang sponsor would be happy enough because it will get enough exposure and I'm sure enough revenue na rin in a way. So happy lahat, ano? Win-win situation for all. So indeed, a very productive and very informative session with Professor Tessa Jasmines. Thank you very much, ma'am.